Hi guys, I hope you're okay. Today I am bringing you a new tag that was created by my friend Mel from a book fiend named Mel, who is linked below in the description, and it is the Do You Know Your Slang tag. So Mel created this tag because she was very unaware of some of the slang that is used in today's society, and she thought it'd be interesting to create a tag, have people decide what they originally thought it meant if they did not know at the time, or if they still do not know, and then recommend books based off their original thought of what the book was about. So hopefully this will make sense as we go in. I will give you an example for one of the words that are on here, such as trash. People might assume that trash means bad and therefore recommend a book that they thought was bad. And that is how it's going to work. I think luckily for me, I know what all of these words mean, so hopefully all of my thoughts and definitions will be appropriate. So the first slang word that is used in society is shook. Now to me, shook has always meant it's left me shook. I can't believe what's happened. I'm in a state of complete and utter shock. I can't cope. The world is spinning. Can't breathe. I'm shooketh. Like, that's always what it's meant. It's hard to define what shook means because I just used the word shook. So how do you say the word? I don't know. But book that left me shook. Had to go with Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. This was one of my all-time favourites from last year. This follows a woman called Marin who a few years earlier lost their son. She was out shopping with her son and her son was kidnapped in broad daylight and she never heard from him again. Then she finds out that her husband has been having an affair and she decides that she's going to do whatever she can to keep the only family she has left. And this book took so many dark twists and turns. It was one that when I read it, I was like so invested all the way throughout. Even in parts where not a lot of action was going on, I was so intrigued and so invested that I didn't care that there wasn't much action. I was still invested in every single second. The ending was just so dramatic and tense, and I loved every second with it, and I can't wait to have a reread of this book. It left me shook. Now next, the slang word is ship. A lot of people will probably know what this one is because it's quite popular at the moment. And the term ship is used to describe two people who you want to be together. You ship them because you want them to be in a relationship. I really had a big debate about this one because there were so many obvious ones I could go for. Y'all know I'm a big Shadowhunter person, so I was like, I want my Izzy and my Simon, I want my Tessa and Jem and Tessa and Will and Tessa and everybody, really. Will and Jem, I want all of them. Like, there was just so many couples that I want together. I ship them together. Don't necessarily mean they end up together, but I ship them. So I decided to go a little bit more out there, and I decided to pick a relationship that I hadn't thought of, and that is Addie LaRue and Henry. I think they just bounced off each other so well. I think they gave each other everything they needed in this book. And this story, if you don't know, follows a girl called Addie LaRue who makes a deal with an entity to live her life for herself. She becomes immortal, but the consequence of that is that nobody remembers that she exists. And throughout the course of this story, Addie is going through her life, and then suddenly she meets somebody who remembers her. And I loved this entire story. I thought it was fantastic. And I loved the relationships that built. And there is a character in here called Henry who I am obsessed with. I think him and Addie have such good chemistry. And they are a couple I shipped throughout this entire book because I thought, I need it. I love them. I need this. Now the next one is the word stan. I know what this means, but I have had to inform a few people of what this one means because they didn't know. Stan is the term used to describe that you are so obsessed with something. I think it's based off the Eminem song Stan, and it's about a stalker. So it's about, I'm so obsessed, I will literally stalk these characters if they exist. And for me, the book that just comes to mind with that has to be Noah Can't Even by Simon James Green. I am obsessed with this book. I sit there very frequently and think to myself, I wonder what Noah's getting up to today. And I'm just so obsessed with finding out more. I even check Simon James Green's website and social media to see if he's going to write more Noah books. I know it's not going to happen, but I'm dying for it, okay? I'm obsessed with it. I stan Noah. I just need more. I need it. Now next is the slang term cinnamon roll, which for me, a cinnamon roll character is a person who's just so sweet and innocent and cute and fluffy, and you just want to wrap them up because they're a cute little bean. I've picked a book that I haven't read for this one because it just gives me that vibe, even though I don't know what the book's going to be about, even though I don't know how cinnamon rolly it's going to be. I went with the book Date Me Bryson Keller by Kevin Van Wy because it just gives me that cutesy vibe. Since reading Noah Can't Even, I've become a bit obsessed with my LGBT YA teen romances, and I'm feeling this one. I think it's all going to be cutesy and fun. I think it's going to give me a level of drama I'm okay with, and I think it's just going to be so cute and fluffy, and I'm going to want to read it when I'm wrapped up all snug and I'll be really loving my life. So it's cinnamon rolly to me. So that is the book I went with for that one. Now next is the word trash. Now trash is when you think someone is so great, or a book or an author or a character is just so perfect that you're trash in comparison. You would literally be trash in their house because you are obsessed with them and you love them so much, and you put them on such a high pedestal that you are nothing but trash. For me, it was obvious where I was going with this. Absolute favourite of last year. Absolutely obsessed with this. Adam Silvera keeps teasing that he's going to write another story within this world, and I'm just like, hurry up, I need it. And I'm obsessed with Adam Silvera as a whole. I've collected all of his books without knowing whether I like them all. I've only read 2 so far. It's going to go up, I swear. But I am trash for this book, and I'm trash for him as an author. Now, the next one is the term salty. Now, that is used to describe when you're feeling a bit bitter. Something has left you with a very sour taste in your mouth, you're not happy, and you just want to have a bit of a bitch about it. That is what feeling salty is. That is how I have always defined it. And for me, an obvious book to go with was Platform 7 by Louise Doty. Because let me tell you, when I got to the end of this book, I was a salty little hoe. I was so upset because this had been billed everywhere as this thriller and a mystery, and it was so intriguing, and I read it, and it was a story of domestic abuse that was in no way thrilling and was not enjoyable in the slightest. So I was really upset with where this went. I was salty. I was annoyed. I actually did enjoy my time with the book, don't get me wrong. I think I gave this a 3 stars. I actually really enjoyed it, but I'm still salty about the fact that I was catfished in this way. And I ain't forgiving everyone that has advertised this book. It's not like the booktube community because everyone slags it off. But everyone in the publishing industry, it was advertised on Amazon and Book Depository and Waterstones and everywhere. Advertising this as a thriller, bad move, my friend. Bad move. Now next is the word lit. Now to me, something is lit when it's amazing. It's just so fantastic. I think it's a term used to describe when you're having a few drinks and you start getting to that point of drunk where everything is perfect and nothing's going to ruin the vibe. So to me, that is what lit is. It's like, it's elite. Something so great, it's just elite, nothing can kill the vibe of it. Now for me, that book was most recently These Vengeful Hearts. I did not want to pick this up. When I found it on my TBR, I was fine with it, but I was like, I'm probably going to DNF that one. Then I had to pick it up and I was really upset about it. And then I started reading it and oh my God, perfection. This is one of the only books where recently I have prayed that there is going to be a sequel. Usually when it comes to standalones, I'm like, let's just leave it where it is. Don't kill a good thing. Now I need a sequel. I'm literally sat here planning what this sequel is going to be like, where it's going to go, and I'm so intrigued. It is one of the best books I've read this month. I'm obsessed with it. I can't wait to read more. I really, really loved this, and I think it was I think it probably was one of the most lit books I've read recently. And the last one is tea. So for me, tea has always been when you spill the tea, you're spilling some truths, you're having a little gossip, because a lot of people are a bit too nice, a bit too fake, and then do a bit of bitching behind your back. Spilling some tea is not being afraid to be a bitch to someone's face. And I recently read a book where I had some tea to spill, and a few people had some opinions on it, and it's all good. The book I chose for spilling some tea is A Court of Mist and Fury. I loved it, do not get me wrong, but my tea comes with chapter 55. If y'all don't know what chapter 55 is, you might have to skip my tea. I'll hold the book up and then I'll put it down when I'm done, so skip ahead, and when I put the book down, you can come back. But my tea for chapter 55, it wasn't even that bad. Now in chapter 55, there is a big sex scene. I don't like reading sex scenes. I get very prudish. I get very creeped out. I don't like it. I get really uncomfortable. A lot of people will have seen, I often post on Twitter about this book and stuff like that. I posted screenshots when I was reading it of me messaging Brooke with all of my thoughts, begging for it to stop, because it was terrible. I don't like sex scenes. However, chapter 55 on an audiobook was over 33 minutes long. 8 minutes of that 33 was sex scene. So the majority of it wasn't even a sex scene. And then on top of that, a few chapters before, I think it was chapter 48, actually had not a sex scene, but a little bit of a dirty scene. And that was the most uncomfortable experience of my life. Chapter 55, boring. It was literally the most vanilla crap I could have expected. Maybe other people have built it up for me. I didn't want to read it anyway, so it's not like people have ruined it. I didn't want to read it. But when someone says chapter 55 is where it's at, and you get there, and that is what you get? Nah, man. Nah. Chapter 48 was where it was at, because I did not expect that. I was not happy with it, was not comfortable. And then chapter 55 was... everyone says it was really rude and awful, and... Nah. Be fine reading that with your nan. It was nothing in comparison to chapter 48. So that was my tea on that. A lot of people have some very strong opinions on that. No doubt that's what the majority of my comments are going to be about. But that is my tea. And that is the tag. That is all of it. If you have any inkling to do this tag, feel free. I'm going to make it an open tag because it's so hard to know who to tag these days. People don't bother doing it. Some people really want to do it and I haven't tagged them. So, open tag to everyone. Do this tag. It's a lot of fun. Go check out Mel's original one and let me know down below in the comments if you had any similar opinions to me. Alright guys, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.